I'm going to tell you three things which are absolutely real, no bullshit, okay, about what's going to happen.
Hello and welcome to WorldTempus. Actually, today we are in Lausanne at the Hotel Savoie, and I am delighted to join François-Henri Bennahmias for perhaps our last interview ever, unfortunately. But
there is not such a thing as ever.
Oh, that's true. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Very true. Now, I wanted to talk to you first about your career. 29 years, 11 at the helm of Audemars Piguet. When you look back, what are you the most proud of?
I would say what we've achieved with the people.
Okay.
That's the most important thing because, first of all, the board of directors, so the family members, never asked us to get 10, 15, 20% growth every year. The number one and only mission, basically, they gave us, it was, okay, we are now in 2012. We want to be there in 3012. So do whatever you want, pretty much, okay? But that's our goal.
Wow.
You don't have to rush on anything. You don't have to go crazy at things. Take the time, build it one watch at a time, one client at a time, because everything about us has to be done in a qualitative way. So just take your time.
Wow, that's
but
wonderful.
Do it right.
Oh, that's amazing. What a beautiful brief to start with. How has Audemars Piguet changed since 29 years ago? You must have seen quite an evolution.
First of all, when I joined the company, so I joined the company in 1994, the revenue was not even 100 million. And we are 200 employees. The revenue from last year was 2 billion, and we are now 2,600 employees. So as you can imagine, it's a completely different game. We were not making any of our movements.
Wow.
Then, okay, we're getting the supplies from so many different places. So we rebuilt it slowly but surely. And we didn't own any distribution, any boutiques, nothing, zero. So we are just watch manufacturers using outside people to distribute the watches that would then go to retailers, that would then go to clients. Fast forward, 30 years later, this whole chain has shrunk to, we make the watches, and from the bench of the watchmaker to the wrist of the client.
That's incredible. What a change. What have you learned the most, either professionally or personally?
That you have to be willing to wait and to be patient when you run a business like this. I'm very impatient as a person, so I pushed a lot at the beginning, and sometimes I made mistakes about that, but overall, you learn that everything is a sort of divine order, and sometimes what you feel is taking too much time had a reason to take so much time, and eventually it's going to become something even better than you were expecting. So that's what you learn getting, I don't say older, but wiser, is do not take things and getting hit at first and getting anger or getting your anger on or something. No, it's much more play with it. Because at some point, it could come back the right way. And my number one discovery managing so many people also was the fact that you do not achieve much by putting too much pressure. And I was not that type of boss when I was in the US. Okay. And I had to learn this and seeing the results. I think I'm a much better person now than compared to what I was 20 years ago.
So what kind of boss are you today?
I look at myself not as a CEO of the company, but much more the head coach. So I use a lot of sports analogies, and I want to bring the best in people, but in a completely different way. It's not the Marine styles where I would, no, it's not this anymore. It's much more understand what they have, where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are, and play with them and help them understanding more about how to evolve. And slowly but surely. And the biggest reward I could get as a coach would be people say, it's not always easy, because I don't say I'm easy, but I've learned so much and I'm much more ready no matter what I do in my life, sometimes on a personal level, compared to what I was 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago.
Okay, oh, that's interesting. Now, you've made the decision to step away. Was that a difficult decision for you?
When you make those type of decisions, it's never difficult. It's difficult if you're pushed out. That's a completely different story. When you say, no, I really want to stop. The first deal was at the end of 22, and they asked me to stay an extra year. I wanted to do 10 years, because I'm a firm believer that 10 years is a good tenure as a CEO, and sometimes you don't want to do the extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years where it's still okay, but you don't perform as well. What I love in businesses is getting my hands dirty in the sense of I want to work on the operations, I want to fix things. I love that. When it's in place and it's getting better and it flies on its own basically, I want to do something else. And I always say that I've got so many more things I want to do with my life that I don't want to be 80 to start to open the door to what I want to do next.
Okay, so what is next? Can you share anything?
What's the height of the place? The window? Yeah. Don't ask that question.
Okay.
No, better not.
But there is a project for you. There is something.
Sure.
Okay.
No, I'm going to do 3 things which are absolutely real, no bullshit. Okay, about what's going to happen, about what's not going to happen.
Okay, I'll take that.
I will never be an employee again. I will stay in Switzerland. And it will not be just one category.
Oh, I'm intrigued. Well, I have to wait and see.
Yeah, you see, maybe we're going to see each other
Maybe
again.
we will get
Now
to
we got to see each other again, you see?
Yeah.
We never see you ever again.
Well, I didn't know if you were going to go off and play golf or... No. Yeah, okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm excited for you for the future. Going back a little bit, I wanted to go back to GPHG 2019, when you had your coup de gueule about the suppliers, and everyone was sitting there and, you know, agreeing and listening. I remember I was in the audience. Do you think anything's changed since, or is that still an issue?
So I know that few of them have evolved, clearly, but not the majority. And it's becoming even more important to pay attention to what's going to happen, because the watch industry is somehow booming again. And if the suppliers get a lot of orders from so many different brands, and suddenly, out of nowhere, there is a slowdown, they got to get the calls from the brand saying, delay or cancel my orders, when they've put so many efforts to actually build the capacities, and that could affect more than one of them. And if we don't pay attention to that type of issues, if we start to lose suppliers or they go out of business, it could impact the entire watch industry. We need a healthy network of suppliers, and I will always fight for them.
Yeah, excellent. Do you have any tips for your successor, Ilaria? Are you training? Are you doing a handover? Or do you have any?
So first of all, she's got to arrive on the 14th of August, after the summer holidays, and we're going to work until the end of the year together. And since she doesn't come from the world of watches, so we made a deal together. I said, listen, it's very simple. I teach you everything I know, but you teach me everything you know.
Oh, nice.
So it's an exchange of experiences. And we had a wonderful 1-hour meeting 2 weeks ago. It was the first time we actually met, and I got a great feeling about her. She's a great human being. I think we'll have fun together.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that sounds fun. Okay, so one last question. If you had a message for the Audemars Piguet world, for everyone who loves Audemars Piguet, for all your colleagues back in Le Brassus, all the Audemars Piguet people, around the world, what would you wish them as a parting message?
First of all, you asked me a question before which I didn't give you the answer. It was, what would you say to Ilaria? Remember?
Yes, what tips?
You see, I'm paying attention to what you're asking me.
That's good.
You go sideways.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're paying attention.
And the message I would give is spend as much time as possible with the people who do, not with the people who talk. That will be my message to her. One. Now the message for our employees or for the Audemars Piguet clients or lovers, these people.
Yes. What would your parting message be for the Audemars Piguet world, should we say?
We are far from being done. We got to keep having fun and launching unbelievable watches. I know pretty much what's going to come out for the next 5 to 7 years, and it's only the beginning. Seriously. We are having a convention right now with 250 of our people who are showing 2024 and few peeks about 2025. And I saw the eyes this morning and the smiles on the faces. I can tell you that what we've built is really going to last for a lot and many more years, actually. Not a lot, but many, many more years.
Oh, that's great. Well, the future looks bright, both for you and Audemars Piguet. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat and to keep me on track with my questions. I appreciate it.
Better.
And I wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you.